And I have a few people saying that they missed them. So I'm just going to do, I don't think I have all the books that I've accumulated because we moved in the meantime. And so there might still be some that are in boxes. I still need to get a bookcase to put all my books in. But these are some that I've acquired recently. Now I have to say, disclosure, a lot of them, I don't even know what they're about. But if I see someone that I trust their opinion, like if they said they loved a book before and I read it and I absolutely loved it. And on that list, there's Reagan from Peru's Project, Sasha from Booktopia, and Sarah Swan from Sarah's Nightstand. If those three say they liked a book, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it too. So now this first one here is called Unblemished by Sarah Ella. And again, she's a YouTuber and she wrote a book. So I thought, you know what? I don't even know what this is about. I think it's a scar or a mark on her face and she really doesn't like it. But then she gets pulled into another world and the mark means something. It's like power or something. Like I said, I go into these not knowing too much, but if someone said they liked it, or this one here, it was specifically because she was a YouTuber and I wanted to support her. So I bought her book. I got this one on Amazon. I got the second book to the Rick Riordan, Magnus Chase, and the Gods of Asgard series. This one is called The Hammer of Thor. I haven't read the first book yet, but I'm the type of person that likes to read. Like, I don't know how long this series is going to be, but I have a lot of books to read before this anyway, so I'm okay. But I like to wait till all the series is done, or I know it's coming soon, and then I can binge read it. Now this one is from Lauren Oliver. Now I don't know if this is just a standalone or if it's the start of a trilogy or a sequel. I haven't really looked into it too much as far as that part, but I know this is a book that's told in two perspectives. There's Gemma and Lyra, so you can read it the whole, like if you go like this, the book looks upside down because on Lyra's side it's this way. So you can read all Gemma's side and then Lyra's side. Lyra? Yeah. Or you can read one chapter. So it's told in two perspectives. And it's about replicas. Like there's two of them. And it's like cloning, I think. So I'm looking forward to reading that. So I think this one is the beginning of a series, I think. Now this one, Gemina, it's the sequel to Illuminate, which I haven't read yet. But like I said, I like to have the whole thing. And then this is a duology, so this is done. And this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And it's told in a really different way. There's, it's different the way it's told. So, you know, we have things from the internet and surveillance. And it's a sci-fi. So now that I have both, I'm more likely to read it because I know it's the whole series. Same with this one from Lee Bardugo, Crooked Kingdom. This is the sequel and it's a duology, so it's the last book. It's called Crooked Kingdom. And the first one was Six of Crows, and it had the black sides, and this one has a red side. So super pretty. I think I'm going to order some bookcases from IKEA so I can put my books out, because now I'm in my new house and I want to read, and I have to, you know, open boxes and say, okay, what am I going to read next? And actually I've been reading a lot on my Kindle so that I wouldn't have to dig through boxes and stuff. Now this is a new release. It's called Nemesis from Anna Banks, and she's the writer of Poseidon, of Triton, and of Neptune, which I haven't read yet, but I've heard that it's good. It sounds really good. Like I said, either Reagan or Sasha. I think it was Reagan or Sasha that talked about this book, I believe, and it sounded really good. I can't remember what it's about, but it sounded good. It's princesses and kingdoms. I'm sold. I love those kinds of stories. Now, from Rochelle Mead, this is an older book. It's called Soundless. So I got this on Book Outlet for super cheap. And it's about a whole community that can't hear. And now they're starting to go blind. And if they're blind and can't hear, it's going to be really difficult for them to survive. Now, one girl, all of a sudden, she can start hearing. And so she tries to figure out the mystery of why this is happening. And it has to do with the village that's at the bottom of the hill that provides them everything. So it sounds intriguing, so I wanted to read it. Now this is the last book of this Snow Like Ashes, Frost Like Night by Sarah Rosh. Now I have all three. Now I can binge read them. I love that. And this is a fantasy, so love fantasy. Really, I have to say, there's not too many books that I read and I go, oh, this is so boring. I don't like it. I get taken away into that world, and I seem to like pretty much all the different genres of books. So I just love that. Now this year on my Goodreads goal, I started in February 18th or 15th or something like that. And I started off because I was like, wow, I haven't read in years. Last year I read a book. I only put 12 books on my Goodreads. Well, by the end of February, I had like more than half of that gone. So I brought it up and up and up. Now my Goodreads goal is at 65, and I'm going to keep it there. I'm now at 61 books read, so I only have 4 books and I'm going to be done, and I still have 2 months left. So I'll reach my Goodreads goal, and I think next year I'm going to put my Goodreads goal at 80 and go with that. Now this one here, this is the girl that wrote Dorothy Must Die, which I have some more of her books there. This is called Stealing Snow. It's a retelling of the Snow Queen, and that's all I know about it. And I can't wait because I love retellings. Love, 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 love retellings. Talking about fairy tales, I got this series here. Now I got 2 that are paperback and one that's, which kind of makes me sad, and of course it's the one in the middle. So I might put them out of order on my bookshelf just so that they kind of go. But this is from Holly Black, and it's a modern fairy tale, and that's all I needed to want to read it. I can't believe how small these books are, but this is called Tithe. The second book is Valiant, I believe. And the third book is Ironside. So I can't wait to read these. This is the whole series, and I can just read them all at once. And that's the way, like I said, that's the way I like it. Now, another retelling from Shauna Slayton. It's called Spindle. And so, yay. I love retellings. So, yay. There's a few. I got those 2, Cinderella's Dress and Cinderella's Shoes, way back. I haven't read them yet, but this looked really good, so I got it. I got it. Now, I got this at Chapters, and it was really cheap. It's called Mortal Fire, and I got it because of the book cover, and Holly Black blurbed it, and it was cheap, and I believe it's fantasy, so yay. Now this is the second book, and I bought the first book. I don't know if it's in the box that's down here that I'm going to share, but Walk the World a Stranger, and it's about the gold rush. And this is the second book. I don't know if this is a trilogy or if this is the end, but it's by Ray Carson. So this book came out in October, so I bought it so that I would have the second one. Now this is Rosamund Hodge. She's the one that wrote Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound. I haven't read Crimson Bound yet, but I love Cruel Beauty. And this is called Bright Smoke and Cold Fire. And it sounded really good. It's a retelling, but I can't remember Is it Romeo and Juliet? I can't remember. But it's a retelling. And it sounded good. So I got it. Now this one here, I just found it on Book Outlet and it was super cheap. It was like $2, $3, and it's called An Uncertain Choice by Jody Headland. And this is about a girl that her parents promised that she would become a nun. But a month before her birthday, someone says that if she marries before her 18th birthday, she doesn't have to keep the vow. Now she has two choices, and it's about princesses and knights, and love that kind of setting. So that's the next book I'm reading. I'm going to start that one today. Now this one sounds really good, but I don't want to start it yet because it's a series or a trilogy or something, and it just came out this month, well, October. So I know I'd have to wait like a whole year to get the next one. So I'm going to wait. This is called Stalking Jack the Ripper. It's James Patterson Presents, and maybe they co-wrote it, or anyway, it's Carrie Maniscalco. Anyway, it has to do with Jack the Ripper. In that time, she, instead of being, what she's supposed to be, a proper lady, she wants to find out, or she's kind of obsessed, I think, with Jack the Ripper. So that sounds good. Now, talking about Reagan again, she talked about this series a lot from Jim Butcher, the Codex Alera. So I just got the first two books, Furries of Cauldron and Academ's Furry. And it's a fantasy book. I don't like the size, but actually it's kind of floppy, so I think it'll be okay. It's just kind of a weird size. It's like, I don't know. I like this size better. See, there's like 3 different sizes. That's going to be quite the dilemma to put on the bookshelf. Oh, it's like not a paperback, but what are they called? You know what I mean. I hate those. Anyway, but the story sounds good. Now, I got the second book in the School of Good and Evil, and this one is called World Without Princes. Not princesses, princes. And this is a school where they teach people to be either good or evil. And she thinks she's going to go to the School of Good, and she thinks she's going to go to the School of Evil. It's actually opposite. So I got the second book so I could start reading the whole series. And I'm just going to grab some more books here. Now this one here is by Alison Goodman. This is a dark fantasy. It's called The Dark Days Club. Now that, again, I got at Book Outlet, which, if you're not aware, Book Outlet is a place to get books that really cheap. Like, it's probably $5 or $6 for a hardbound cover book. And so I got that because I heard a few people say that they liked it. Now I got, this is the third book in the Murder of Crows series, which I have the other 2 books. So now I can, or trilogy, I think. And now I can read the whole thing. I think this is a trilogy. Now I got, these were at Book Outlet. So it was book 2 and book 3 of the Dorothy Must Die series. I don't have the first one, so I'll keep stalking Book Outlet and see if I can get Dorothy Must Die at a really good price. Like, I got these 2 books, and when I'm ready to read it, if I don't have it, I'll either get it on ebook, or it's actually cheaper a lot of times just to get the book than the ebook because they're so cheap. Now again, at Book Outlet, I got the Winner's Kiss, which is the 3rd book in the Winner's Curse. In the Winner's series, I guess. The first one is The Winner's Curse and The Winner's Crime by Mary Rutowski, which now I have the whole series, so I can read it all. And it's a fantasy, and it's something to do with the army, and she ends up hiring someone to help her out, and from the wrong side of you know, the fence kind of thing or railroad track. And it causes issues. Now this is the third book in the Pierce Brown trilogy, the Red Rising trilogy, which I have all of them now. So I think I have Red Rising in ebook because one day it was on really cheap. And I have Golden Sun and Morning Star in hardback. So now I can, and that's supposed to be really good. It's a fantasy, I believe, series. Now I only have a few more left. Now this, again, I got a book outlet, and it was a cover buy. I really like the cover. This is from Becca Fitzpatrick called Black Ice. Danger is hard to resist. I have to say. She's the writer of the Hush Hush saga, which I know a lot of people like, so I got that. And then I got the first book in the Wicked Things series. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So now I got both books. I can read that. Two more. This is a historical fiction. Sasha's talked about that. Peru's Project has talked about that. Haley from Haley Hills Loves New York. That's another one that a little less. There's some books that she says she doesn't like and I like, but there's a lot of books that she says she does like that I do like. And this is from Anne Blankman, and it's a historical fiction, and it has to do with Hitler, and it just sounded really good. And there's a second book to this, so I'll keep stalking Book Outlet and see if I can find it. Now this is a fairly new book, and I saw a few people talk about it. The Girl from Everywhere. I still got it at Book Outlet, and from Heidi Heilig. And I can't remember what it's about, but I know again, it's set in the 1800s, and it has to do with maps, and it just sounded really good, and I love the cover. So this is how many books I got in the last few months, minus probably a few. I did get a few ebooks, because a lot of times you can get them for like $2.99, $3.99. And so that's it. That's almost what I have here, is almost what is going to be my TBR for next year. Or my goal, I guess, not my TBR. My goal for next year, because I want to read 1/3 of it, because I want to read 80 books, and there's about 30 books here. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.